Alright. So shout out to the family, man. We finna get this thing started, man. We finna get this thing started. Y'all ready to take it back to the Nibiru? Are y'all ready to take it back to Nibiru? Nibiru. All right, here we go. Let's get it. All right, all right, all right. We covered quite a bit yesterday. So, yesterday we were introduced to Nibiru's backstory, the origin story, okay? So, the information we were going through yesterday was Enki in narration taking us back to the beginning times on their planet, okay? And Enki told us that in the beginning, they were primitive people. They were, just like we came up primitively and, went through our stages, they started off primitively as well. And they evolved over the years. And they talked about how originally when everybody was just tribal, they used to fight with sticks, right? But they say as they got more technologically advanced, what used to be sticks turned into weaponry, turned into missiles, bombs, right? Things of this nature. So this was them just taking us along the path of, we went from this level to this level. And when we got to this level where we was using weaponry, we ended up almost blowing the whole planet apart, okay? So they had a great war on the Nibiru amongst the people, the inhabitants of the planet, right? The North versus the South, okay? The North of Nibiru went to war with the South of Nibiru. And this war was so bad, that it almost wiped out all the male population. That's how bad this war was. It almost removed all the male population, right? I mean, it affected the population of males on the Nibiru so bad that one of the kings passed a law saying that every man can have more than one woman. Give a round of applause for Ann Shargal. Ann Shargal in the building. Big shout out to Ann Shargal. You know what I'm saying? The ladies ain't having that shit. Ann Shargal is not going to be liked amongst the sisters. Not at all. I don't know what was wrong with him. Listen, boy, that boy, he tried it. He tried it, didn't it? No, but listen, can I be real with y'all? Check this out. Check this out, though. How about that law stayed in play? It stayed in play. Look at your biblical, look at the Bible. Didn't the men of the Bible have multiple wives? Look at the Africans, look at the way the African tribal how different the tribes are, right? Don't a lot of the tribes have multiple wives? Didn't I tell you where we get our civilization from? Didn't I tell you that these people, everything that these people do, we mirror? Okay. So y'all know this polygamy, this polygamy, it was not, we didn't start that. This is what was given. Y'all got to remember, we started off from a primitive place. We had no concept. When you start the beginning of a civilization, the early man has no concept of anything. That's what you have to understand. Somebody has to teach man these things. Early man has no concept of wife, husband, king, none of these things, right? Somebody had to teach man all of these concepts. So y'all was trying to say that God was down here teaching us this stuff? You know what I'm saying? No, man, it was another group of people here. That's how you're going to come to understand how we learn everything. It's going to make sense to you. Trust me. When we get here, it's going to make sense to you. It was another group of people here. That's what we missing. It was another group of people here that taught humanity these things, that gave humanity these concepts. Okay? So yesterday they introduced us to the beginning of their kingship after the wartime, in the peacetime. Okay? So in the beginning of their kingship, they started with the first unified king, which was An. Okay? And An picked a spouse from the south, and her name was Antu. And An and Antu gave birth to 3 boys, no girls. Okay? Now you remember in their kingship, in the succession rules of kingship, the succession always goes to the firstborn. Okay? So if you were second-born and the third-born, it's a chance that you might not ever rule. But in this case, with An and Antu, their firstborn son died on the throne. So the succession fell to the second-born son, An-Ib. An-Ib married the half-sister of his youngest brother. Okay? And her name was Nin-Ib. An-Ib and Nin-Ib had a child, and his name was An-Shargal. And Shargal is the guy we were just talking about. That's the guy that passed the law saying man can have multiple wives. Okay? And Shargal was married to Kishargal. Kishargal, who like I say, this was a sister, a real sister, couldn't get pregnant, and her husband ended up getting somebody from the concubine pregnant. But it was a problem. Because Sister Gal say she wasn't having that shit. Sister Gal say she was not having that. Your son ain't taking no throne up in here. Okay? So Keisha Gal, when she ended up getting pregnant, I'm finna just throw some salt in the game right quick. Y'all know she went cheated and had sex with somebody else and got pregnant by them. As Nibiru turns. As Nibiru turns. So, but Enki and them, they want to give us the full messy version. So they kept it simple, right? But Kishar Gal, when she got pregnant, she made the argument that because she is the queen, that her son should be the king. I'm just joking, Corliss. We just joking, my love. That her son should be the king because she is the queen. And that no concubine son could usurp the rulership of her son. Okay? So An-Shargal was put in a real tight spot. Right? He had already made his wife mad. He already got this woman from the concubine, from the whole house, pregnant. Right? So now he had to go back and pass another law. This law stated that anytime a concubine is with child, that the concubine child can only take the throne if there's no other seed, right? But if there's a seed by the queen, the seed by the queen automatically usurps the concubine child and gets the succession. Okay, this was called the law of double seed. All right, so An-Shargal had to pass that law to make his wife happy because she was going to keep kicking his ass. Right? So they go on, and they introduce us to at least, I want to say, how many kings did we get to before we got to Alalu? I want to say 8th or 9th. Right? It was An-Shargal, then it was Inshar. Okay, An-Shargal was 4th, Inshar was 5th, Uru was 6th, Lama was 7. We missing somebody. Okay, I think y'all right, but I know we missing somebody. So we got through 8 kings, 8 Nibiruan kings before we get to Alalu. So this is where the shit hit the fan, okay? So Alalu caused the death of the King Lama. King Lama, who was an orphan, who didn't have no royal blood, no real connection to the throne other than his parents adopting him. Okay? The people just didn't care for Lama as much. Right? So they ended up leading a revolt. And that revolt was led by Alalu. Alalu was a prince. Not a high-ranking prince. Right? Because like I say, he was related through a concubine. So he wasn't even a high-ranking prince, but he led this revolt that led to the death of King Lama. Okay? So Alalu asserted himself on the throne after this, right? He decided, hey, we got rid of this guy. This guy couldn't get the job done. I'm the guy for the job, but they say, wait 1 minute. You can't just appoint yourself king of a planet. Slow your roll. God damn, brother. It's protocol, Mr. Alalu. So they say, no, Alalu, you got to prove who you are. We can't just put you on the throne. We got to know who you are, who you related to, right? So Alalu says, hey, man, I am related to king. I have the blood of the king in me. And Alalu goes back and he traces back his family roots, right? And so what they found out is Anshargal's concubine's son that he had to sleep on the couch for, because you know that woman had that nigga sleeping on the couch for probably about 2-3 months, okay? So Anshargal's concubine's son ended up being the uncle to Alalu, okay? So Alalu says that I have the king's blood in me because I am related through the concubine's son, and he was cheated out of the throne. He should have been allowed to be on the throne. This was his argument, that his uncle was cheated out of his position on the throne. To which, when they traced his steps, they found out he was right. He was true. He was related. Okay. So just before they were about to grant Alalu the king of Nibiru, another prince stepped forward. And this prince says, hey, I got pure blood inside of me. I'm related to the king through the purest seed. No concubine, right? See, they gonna always take shots. If your mama was in the concubine, they gonna take shots at you. Okay? Basically, your mama was a hoe. For a show. Okay? So it wasn't an easy life for them concubine boys. Okay? Yeah, it was tough out here. So even we seen what happened with Enki. Look how they treated Enki. Now we understand why they treated Enki so bad. His mom was in the concubine, right? She was a Pleiadian house servant or something like that Anu stretched out. But we'll get to that. Anyway, they traced the steps of Alalu's history. They found out he was right. But right before they were about to grant him the kingship, Prince Anu steps forward and says, I am of purest seed, more pure than Alalu. Okay? So they listen to Prince Anu, and Prince Anu explains to them that he is the great-great-grandson of the third son of An, which is the right kind of relationship to have. I mean, this is a pure line right here, okay? So Anu was able to prove that he was from the pure line of An, okay? And a lot of people was ready to champion him for king, right? But just before that could happen, Alalu got wise. Alalu was a lot older than Anu, okay? So imagine Anu being like 19 or 20 years old. Anu was just like maybe like 25, 26 years old, young, right? And Alalu being like 50, right? So Alalu kind of did the old head thing and said, hey, young buck, hey, slow down, listen. Let's do this, young buck. How about you let me be the king for now, and then you will be my king in succession. And as a sweetener, I'm going to give you my daughter for your son to marry. Okay? So Alalu kind of gave him an offer he couldn't refuse, right? He gets to be the king in succession. He gets to lock up the opportunity to be a king. And also he gets a bride for his son. These things are important in the Biru civilization, right? Same way it was in African civilization. It was important for a father to get a husband for his daughter, or vice versa, okay? Like I told you, Nubiru, Nubaya, okay? Nubia and Nibiru is a real connection, trust me. So what I want y'all to understand is, Anu took this deal from Alalu. He says, okay, old head, I'm going to take the deal. You know, I'm going to let you hold his kingship down for now. All right? So the first thing Alalu does is Alalu says, hey, let's go back and revisit this idea of getting this gold from the asteroid belt. Okay? Do y'all remember why they wanted to go to the asteroid belt and get gold? Why they could find gold in the asteroid belt? Because of why? What was the reason that they knew it was gold in the asteroid belt? Exactly. Former Tiamat. Exactly. Former Tiamat. Good job. So Tiamat was the golden planet. Nibiru moon hit Tiamat. Basically split Tiamat in half. We live on the remaining half of Tiamat. Okay? So let me show y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. When people talk about what this planet is, I'm finna show y'all the best example of what we live on. Let me show y'all something real quick before we get into this. I'm gonna show y'all. Could this be it? Nah. This might be it. That's not it either. I'm gonna show y'all this picture whenever I find it. I thought I had it set up. Or not a globe at all. Okay? If you've ever seen an asteroid, you know it's a big clunky rock, right? We live on something more like that. It's not no rounded ball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about this, bro. They used to tell folks that China was down under, right? Think about this. They used to tell you, you really think that Chinese people are upside down? You remember they used to say that in the cartoons? China is not down under. China is in the far east. If you travel right now going to the east, you're going to run into China. You don't go down to go to China. Right? Because we not on no damn ball. They not under the map. They to the far east of the map. So, I don't know, man. They got people to believe in some real wild, ridiculous stuff. All you got to do is look at a map to really understand. Stop looking at the globe and start looking at a map, a real map. I cannot get this damn green screen down. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, they used to tell us that. You remember that? That was wild. That was wild, brother. It is nothing like that. It is nothing like that. So let me get back. Let me get back to what we were saying. So Alalu. Remember I told y'all that Alalu was a very important character in this story, right? I told y'all to write down certain characters, put a star by their name, because certain characters are very important, okay? So Alalu and Anu, very important. Shout out to Paris. Much love, sister. Appreciate the love. Alalu and Anu, very important characters in this story, okay? So Alalu decides, okay, my first act as king, let me go back and try to get that gold from the asteroid belt. For some reason, he thought he could make it work. Okay? So this is where we're going to begin. We're going to begin with Alalu trying to get some of these ideas to work. You remember that what they're trying to do? Y'all all remember that they're trying to fix the breach. You remember they got a hole in their atmosphere. They got a hole in their ozone layer on the Nibiru. Okay? There's a hole in their atmosphere, and they're seeking gold to remedy this issue. Because they know they can break gold down to its monatomic form, and that gold will act as a heat shield. How many of y'all know today that NASA uses gold as a heat shield? Put a 1 in the chat if you know that. That gold can be used as a conductor and as a heat shield. Right? So you got to remember that somebody is writing this in these tablets almost 400,000 years ago. This is being etched. This story is being etched. 400,000 years ago, somebody knew that gold could be used as a conductor and a heat shield. Don't never let that go over your head. Everything that we talk about, guys, it comes from these tablets. Swear to God. So when you hear some stuff that sounds very futuristic, remember, it comes from 400,000 years ago. So this is the truth they've been hiding from you. That's why you come to class, to hear the truth that they've been hiding from you. Okay? So let's begin, gang. Y'all ready? Let's get this show on the road. By the asteroid belt, the boats were crushed. All right, so before we even start, remember Alalu's first act of king was to go back to the asteroid belt. It had already been unsuccessful. The trip to the asteroid belt had already been unsuccessful, and the reason for this is too dangerous. It's big old fucking boulders the size of mountains, the size of cities. Imagine that in your mind right now, because I want y'all to see the asteroid belt. I don't want y'all to think the asteroid belt is a bunch of little rocks flying around. The asteroid belt is like 1 billion pieces of mountain-sized rocks. Now wrap your mind around that. 1 billion pieces of mountain-sized rocks. And these folks went back to try to mine the gold on the asteroid. Now, there's a movie. There's a movie that depicts this. I want to say the movie is called Mission to Mars. Somebody, or was it Armageddon? One of these movies, they went and they flew to an asteroid to mine or to try to blow it up. It was something like that, right? Gave you an idea of what it would be like to try to fly to an asteroid to do something like this. Was it Armageddon? I wanted to say it was Armageddon or one of the movies like that. Yeah, right? Very volatile, right? You got to land on this moving, you got to land on this big old moving object, right? Very volatile. So just imagine that, okay, so we all seen that. So just imagine that they trying this. This is what they trying to do. This is what they trying to do. They trying to land on it and mine it for gold, okay? But that shit did not work. It failed horribly. It failed horribly. It resulted in a lot of lost lives and lost boats. Listen, by the asteroid belt, the boats were crushed. None of them returned. So then they want to try to blow up the volcanoes. He said, let with weapons of terror the bowels of Nibiru be cut open. Let volcanoes again erupt. So you remember they had the other idea of let's explode the volcanoes, see if we can get them to spit up the soot and the ash. Because if the volcanoes explode, the soot and the ash could be a protective layer for the atmosphere. Okay, so for all the people who don't know what's going on the planet Nibiru, the Anunnaki were trying to heal their atmosphere. They had a hole in their ozone layer. So they was trying different things to heal their atmosphere, okay? So one of these things were to get gold and to try to loft the gold up in the air in a powder form, break it down to monatomic gold and loft it up into the air. It was going to act as a heat conductor, as a conductor in a heat shield. But their second idea was to blow up volcanoes and have them spew up ash and smoke and let that ash and smoke act as a protective shield, okay? So they're going to try this next. With weapons of terror, skyborne chariots were armed. With terror missiles from the skies where volcanoes struck. The mountains swayed, the valleys shuddered, as great brilliances with thunder exploded. In the land there was much rejoicing. Of abundance there were expectations. So these people are all excited. They thinking it's going to work. They hoping it's going to work. In the palace Anu was for Alalu the cupbearer. He would bow at Alalu's feet, set the drinking cup in Alalu's hand. Alalu was the king. Anu, as a servant by him, was treated. Okay? So always remember the Anunnaki are royals. Okay? So their system is a very civilized type of system. They brought the civility here to earth. This is a royal family. Okay? Like, think about the Prince of Zamunda. Okay? So, like, they do everything in a very ornate way. All right? So I want y'all to keep that mindset about them. In the land, rejoicing receded. Rains were withheld. Winds blew harder. The belching by the volcanoes did not work. The breach in the atmosphere did not heal. So it didn't work. In the heavens, Nibiru, its circuit kept coursing. From circuit to circuit, heat and cold grew harder to suffer. The people of Nibiru ceased to revere their king. Instead of relief, misery he caused, right? So see, the people is starting to turn on Alalu. And none of the shit that he did is working. So the people are starting to turn on him. The strong and wise Anu, foremost amongst the princes, was standing before him. In the 9th Shar, Anu gave battle to Alalu. All right, here we go. Here we go. Shit about to hit the fan. So in the 9th Shar, and if you want to do your math, all you got to do is do 3,600 times 9. If you want to know how many years is the 9th Shar, okay? It's about like 33,000 or something like that. 3,440 or something like that. 3,240. So anyway, Anu has basically said enough is enough. The people are upset with Alalu. The things he doing, they not working. So Anu said, hey man, listen, I know I said I'd wait, but this shit ain't working. This is not working. The choices you making, they not working. I'm tired of waiting. So Anu steps forward and he challenges Alalu to a fight. Okay? Now, I don't like the particular fight that they chose, But this they business, not mine. So let me tell you what kind of fighting they did. To hand combat with bodies naked, Alalu, he challenged. Now, I don't understand why they had to be buck naked. I ain't really no big fan of wrestling and fighting no man buck naked. My nigga, if you want to take your shirt off, that's cool, my nigga. All right, but god damn, you got to drop your drawers too? Nah, that not my thing. Again, the Anunnaki, they got their own thing. The Anunnaki, we kin to them. We not the Anunnaki. We kin to them, but we not the Anunnaki. Okay? I know I'm not wrestling buck naked with no nigga. I'm telling you, you ain't got to make one wrong move and you tripping, that penis hit you in the face and you like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So for some reason, they wanted to, hey, listen, man. Hey, I don't mind you hiding the weapon. I'm sorry, 550. Hey, I'm going to let you hide a weapon, man. I'm going to give you that. You can hide this weapon today, brother. Please keep that other weapon closed up. I'm going to let you have a weapon today. I'm all good with that. We ain't got to take our clothes off, though. You know what I'm saying? All right, but I'm going to give y'all something. Watch this, though. The Greeks learned from the Africans. All right, y'all hear me? The Greeks learned from the Africans. Do y'all know what kind of wrestling style that the Greeks used to like? The Greco-Roman wrestling? Greco-Roman wrestling was buck naked, was two men buck naked wrestling. Okay? So you better believe this is something else that they picked up from these people. Okay? It's gonna all make sense when we get there. But the Greeks picked up on this from the Africans. The Africans picked up on this from these people, right? I'm not with no buck naked. I ain't wrestling no nigga buck naked. I'm sorry. You can hide your weapon, sir. Go ahead, sir. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, to hand combat with buck-ass naked bodies, Alalu, he challenged. Let the winner be king, Anu said. They grappled with each other in the public square. Doorposts trembled and walls shook. Alalu bent his knee to the ground. He fell on his chest. Alalu in combat was defeated. By acclaim, Anu was hailed as king. Anu to the palace was escorted. Alalu to the palace did not return. So Anu then put them hands on him. Okay? Anu has defeated Alalu in battle, in fair combat, challenged him and defeated him. The man way, not particularly my kind of man way, but yeah, the man way, I guess. So he defeats Alalu fair and square, and now he is exalted as King Anu. All right? Alalu did not return to the throne. He did not return to the palace. Alalu instead ran away. He escaped. Alalu took off running. He did the same thing. He did the same thing that he said Lama did, right? He chased Lama to his death, but Alalu left because he thought that they was going to do the same thing to him, right? So he takes off running. From the crowds, he stealthily escaped. Of doing like Lama, he was fearful. Unbeknownst to the others, to the place of the celestial chariots, he hurriedly went. Into a missile-throwing chariot, Alalu climbed. Its hatch behind him, he closed. Okay, so they are explaining how he got in his spaceship, closed the hatch. Okay? The four-part chamber he entered. The commander's seat he occupied. That which shows the way he lit up, with bluish aura filling the chamber. The firestones he stirred up. Their hum like music was enthralling. The chariot's great cracker he enlivened. A reddish brilliance it was casting. They're explaining the operation panels lighting up in the spaceship and the thrusters getting ready to take off. Unbeknownst to others in the celestial boat, Alalu from Nibiru escaped to the snow-hued planet beyond the hammered bracelet. He set his course to the snow-hued planet beyond the hammered bracelet. Y'all do know what that is, right? The snow-hued planet. My boy say Pluto. This is the hammered bracelet. All right. Boom. Your Earth. The snow-hued planet beyond the hammered bracelet. Okay? We were in the forbidden zone, what they call the forbidden zone. Okay? To a snow-hued Earth, he set his course. By a secret from the beginning, he chose his destination. The snow-hued planet, key, Earth. So the reason why Alalu is headed to Earth, guys, is because Alalu knows that the gold that's in the asteroid belt that comes from Tiamat, he knew that if he couldn't get the gold from the asteroid belt, that he can go to the remainder of Tiamat to mine the gold. Okay? So he had already knew that this was a possibility. Now what sped this opportunity up was him getting dethroned. Okay? So his mindset is, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna go to Earth, I'm gonna save the day. I'm gonna get the gold, I'm gonna find the gold, they're gonna love me, and they're gonna bring me back, and they're gonna make me king again. That's his mindset. Don't nobody even know he gone. Nobody even knows he gone. They're not gonna find out he's gone until he calls back from the Earth. He's gonna call them back on his cell phone, because Anunnaki got all of that. Okay? And he gonna let them know, I'm on the Earth, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, let's get into that, man. Let's get into chapter 2. So, Alalu is on his way to Earth. Anu is now the king of Nibiru. And let me write that down, because we need to see how long Anu was on the throne. Anu took the throne. Well, that ain't going to tell us, so I'll get to that later. To snow-hued Earth, Alalu set his course. But secret from the beginning, he chose his destination. This is the account of how the olden times began. And of that era, that in the annals, the golden era was known. And how from Nibiru to Earth, the missions to obtain gold went. To regions forbidden, Alalu made his way. Did you hear that? To regions forbidden, to the forbidden region, right? So we out here in the boonies. Earth is in the boondocks, all right? They say these were the forbidden regions. Alalu made his way. No one at the asteroid belt a crossing had attempted, all right? So let's get back. Let me pull up. I want to start about right here, I think. All right. So this is the Kuiper belt. All right. So it says no one at the asteroid belt, a crossing had attempted. Y'all see this, right? all these condensed large asteroids and meteorites, okay? No one at the asteroid belt had a crossing attempted. A secret from the beginning, Alalu's course was determined. The fate of Nibiru in his hands he placed. By a scheme, his kingship to make universal. On Nibiru, exile was certain. There was death itself he was chancing. He thought he was going to be put to death, right? So he said, I'm going to go and save the day. In his scheme, risk was in the journey. Eternal glory of success was the reward. Riding like an eagle, Alalu the heavens scanned. Below, Nibiru was a ball in a voidness hanging. Okay? He's just explaining as he leaves Nibiru how it just looks like a small ball. Okay? Alluring was its figure, its radiance emblazing, the surrounding heavens. Y'all hear that, right? So when they talk about the heavens, they just talking about the cosmos, guys. I told y'all this idea of a place called heaven. I'm going to show y'all how y'all been mistaken, how they gave y'all the wrong information about that. They are the celestial beings calls the heavens. Anything in the cosmos is the heavens, okay? Its measure was enormous. Its belching fire blazed forth. Its life-sustaining envelope. Its hue a redness like a sea churning. In its midst, the breach was distinct. So as he got up higher, he could see the hole in their ozone layer. He looked down again. The wide breach turned into a small tub. As farther he gets out, the smaller it gets. He looked again. Nibiru's great ball turned into a small fruit. So now y'all get the picture. The next time he looked in the wide, dark sea, Nibiru disappeared. Wonder why he said that. He said the next time he looked in the wide, dark sea. Why would he call it the sea? Huh? Why would he refer to space as the sea? What's up, Tika? Peace and love. Peace and love, Tika. Why would he call space the sea? Think about that. How many times we heard about the heavens, the waters above being separated from the waters below? How many times we heard that? The waters above being separated from the waters below. Man is traveling through space, and he called it the sea. Right? Let that sit with you. Keep that in your mind. Right? He called it the sea. Keep in mind that he has not yet got to the asteroid belt yet. Yes, Israel, that's what I'm trying. I'm gonna paint the picture in vivid colors for you, okay? He has not gotten to the asteroid belt yet, and he's traveling through waters. He says the sea. Okay? We get there. It's gonna all unfold. The next time he looked in the wide, dark sea, Nibiru disappeared. Remorse, the heart of Alalu grasped. Fear held him in its hands. Decision to hesitation turned. To halt in his tracks, Alalu considered. Then from audacity to decision he returned. 100 leagues, 1,000 leagues. The chariot was coursing. 10,000 leagues. The chariot was journeying. In the wide heavens, darkness was the darkest. In the faraway distance, stars, their eyes were blinking. More leagues Alalu traveled. Then a sight of great joy met his gaze. In the expanse, the heavens, the celestial emissaries was greeting him. Okay, celestial emissaries are the planetary bodies. Okay, so he says in the expanse of the heavens, the celestial emissaries was greeting him. He's talking about the other planets, the celestial bodies. Okay. Planetary bodies was greeting him. Okay, here we go. I told y'all what they call Pluto. They call Pluto Gaga. Little Pluto, the one who shows the way, by its circuit Alalu was greeting. To him a welcome extended. He called it Little Pluto. Here you go right here. It's the first planet. That's the first planet he runs into when he gets to this part of the cosmos. Okay, so you got Pluto first. Now watch this. By this cosmic illustration, the next planet he would run into would be Neptune. Let's just see if it's going to be Neptune. With a leaning before and after the celestial onto, it was destined to travel. To face forward, to face backward. With two facings, it was endowed. Its appearance as first to greet Alalu as a good omen he once considered. By the planets he is welcome, so was his understanding. In his chariot, Alalu followed Pluto's path. Okay, so you remember I told y'all, the term leagues is the message. That's how when they on the sea. You right. Shout out to Miss Kill. Come on with it, Miss Kill. Y'all show Miss Kill some love. That's true, because when you travel on sea, you describe the distance of measurement by using leagues, right? 4,600 leagues or 400 leagues so you're 100% right, Miss Kim. Come on with it. In his chariot, Alalu followed Pluto's path. To the second planet of the heavens, it was directed. Remember I told y'all that every planet has an orbit, and the orbit of a planet is like a highway, okay? The orbit of a planet is like a magnetic highway. Every planet has a metal core, okay? So these planets all stick to its orbit. That's how they travel on the orbit, okay? In his chariot, Alalu followed Pluto's path. To the second planet of the heavens, it was directed. Now, if this is right, the second planet should be Neptune. Listen up, here go. To the second planet, he says, soon Neptune, what they call King Inshar, because they named all the planets after the great gods. After Anunnaki kings, okay? So one planet was called Antu. One planet was called, this planet was called Inshar, King Inshar. Y'all remember Inshar, okay? So Neptune is called King Inshar. Listen to this. So just like how the illustration is already right, okay? So he says, soon Neptune, its name by King Inshar was given, in the deep darkness was looming. Blue as pure waters was her hue. Of the upper waters, she was the commencement. Of the upper waters. Okay? So these are the planetary bodies. These are the celestial bodies of the upper waters. Our planetary bodies are the planetary bodies of the lower waters. The asteroid belt, our asteroid belt, is what separates us from the upper bodies. Okay? I'm telling y'all, I did not tell y'all that's the firmament. Before we started class, I say, I'm going to reveal to y'all what the real firmament is. I'm going to reveal to y'all what the real firmament is. The true firmament, the biblical firmament. Not the electromagnetic grid that was put up by the reptilians to keep us in prison. But we're talking about the firmament that's in the out in the cosmos, okay? I also got a video that I'm going to tag all y'all in. I'm going to upload the video, and I'm going to tag all y'all in the video so y'all can hear somebody speaking about this being the firmament, okay? So just like 450,000 years ago, this information was etched 450,000 years ago. Somebody knew that Pluto was first and that Neptune was second. Gang, you can only know that information if you was up there traveling. Who the fuck had a spaceship 450,000 years ago? Not us. Not us. Guys, I proved to y'all that these tablets was found in 1823. Okay, so let's stop for 2 seconds. Y'all remember when I showed y'all that these tablets were found in 1823, between 1823 and 1849? So ask yourself something right quick. Who the fuck even knew about these planets in 1823? They didn't even have no clue about these planets in 1823. They didn't know about these planets in 1849. They downgraded it because they downgraded it trying to say that it didn't reach the guidelines of being a planet. They got certain guidelines that you have to meet to be called a planet. So this is what I want y'all to remember. Don't be thinking that you're reading some shit that somebody made up. This is what's etched in that stone. Okay? The biggest thing about the Anunnaki was the fact that they had knowledge of planetary bodies and alignments that people should not know about. The only way you could know about it if you was out there or if you had a telescope. Who had a powerful telescope 20, 30, 40, 50,000 years ago? I'll wait. You're going to be getting this validity all along the way. You need to know that you're dealing with the truth. I told y'all when you take this course, for the first time, you finna get the real truth. You finna get the real story of humanity. These people gave us as close as we can get. If it's something else out there, then we got to wait on it. But for right now, this is as close as you're going to get to the truth about how we came to be. All right, so let's roll. So here we go. We got Neptune next. He called it. Tell them they ain't seen nothing yet. It's coming. The big shit coming. Woo! We ain't even got started yet. You know what I'm saying? All right. So what's next? Neptune was next. The next should be Uranus. All right. They call Uranus the twin planet. So we got Neptune here. And we got, let me see. I'm trying to see where Uranus is at. Uranus should be somewhere right here. Okay. So we got, let me see if I can get it on. I see Saturn. That's Saturn. Is something in the right? Okay, this must be Uranus right here. Yeah, there go Uranus right here. Okay, cool. Alalu, by the sight's beauty, was enchanted. So he said he was enchanted by the beauty of Neptune. But Neptune is dangerous. Y'all want to know why Neptune is dangerous? Neptune is a water world. Neptune is a water world. You go down to Neptune, you'll never come back out of that motherfucker. So it's a water world. So you go into it, you can't come back out of it. Enki say, hell nah, we got to stay far away from Neptune. Alalu, by the sight's beauty, was enchanted. To course at a distance, he continued. In the far beyond, Neptune's wife began to shimmer. By size, Neptune was the equal, as his wife's double. By a greenish bluish was Uranus distinguished. Okay, here you go. Just like they say. In the far beyond, Neptune's wife began to shimmer. Come on now, I feel like we on the ship with Alalu. I feel like we riding shotgun with Alalu, man. Neptune, he says, in the far beyond, Neptune's wife began to shimmer. By size, Neptune the equal. They call it the twin planet. We ain't had this thing in the first couple classes, man. By greenish blueness was Uranus distinguished. Look at that, man. Even got the color right. Can y'all see that? The freaking color is even right to the description. He said that Neptune was blue, and he said that Uranus was greenish blueness. Greenish blueness. Come on with it, man. The course get better every time, baby. The course get better every time. And you know what's up next. And you see Uranus is clearly up next. Let's see. You see Saturn is clearly next. It talks about the moon of Uranus. There we go. Come on now. A dazzling moon encircled it on its side with firm grounds they were provided. These are the moon of Uranus. To the two celestials, Alalu bade a fond farewell. The path of Pluto still discerning. The way it was showing to its olden master, of whom it was once the counselor. To Saturn, the foremost prince of the heavens, the course was a turning. Now that is Saturn next. You see how we traveling? Now I know my way. I ain't got to have no GPS when I get ready to travel to Nibiru. I don't even need GPS now. All I need is this map. I know my way. I can make that trip. Okay, we got Saturn next. There we go. Right here below Uranus. Trying to get it to point. Yep, right here. Right here. Right there by my finger. So we got Saturn. By the speeding chariot, Alalu, the ensnaring pool of Saturn, could tell. With bright rings of dazzling colors, the chariot it was enchanting. His gaze, Alalu, to one side quickly turned. That which shows the way, with might he diverted. A sight most awesome then to him appeared. In the far away heavens, the family's bright star he discerned. A sight most frightening. The revelation followed. A giant monster in its destiny moving. Upon the sun a darkening cast. Jupiter, its creator, swallowed. Okay, so now we got to pull up. So let's take a look at Jupiter. We got Jupiter next, right? Just like they say. Right there. All right. A giant monster in its destiny moving. Upon the sun a darkening cast. Jupiter, its creator, swallowed. Frightening was the occurrence, an evil omen Alalu indeed thought. The giant Jupiter, foremost of the firm planets, its size was overwhelming. So can you imagine flying by this big old ass planet? Right? He say it was scary to see this motherfucker. Just big, just huge, right? Swirling storms obscured its face. Colored spots they moved about. Moons beyond counting, some quickly, some slowly. Okay, all you know all the moons of Jupiter, Europa. Jupiter got a bunch of moons. Jupiter itself, a spell was casting. Divine lightnings it was thrusting. As Alalu looked on, his course became upset. His direction was distracted. His doings became confused. Then the deepness, darkening began to depart. Jupiter on his destiny continued to circle. Slowly, its veil from the shining sun lifted. The one from the beginning came fully into view. Joy in Alalu's heart was not long lasting beyond. Hold on. Joy in Alalu's heart was not long lasting. Beyond the fifth planet, the utmost danger was lurking. Can y'all see what the utmost danger was? Beyond the fifth planet, the utmost danger was lurking. Correct. Shout out to Ariston. The asteroid belt, our asteroid belt. Okay? Beyond the fifth planet, the hammered bracelet. Come on with it. Now he got to figure out how he going to get through this thing, man. The asteroid belt ahead was raining. To demolish it, it was awaiting. So well, this is on the other side of the asteroid belt. Okay, here we go right here. This is the asteroid belt. This is the beginning of it right here. All right? Beyond the fifth planet. Y'all ever hear them talking about this little planet Ceres? They say this planet is like Earth. If y'all do your research on that planet, they know it's life on that planet. They know that I think on Ceres is people just like us. They got a kind of society kind of like us. What y'all don't know is some people out there that live just like us on the earth, and they be thinking the same shit. Is there other life out there? Do your research on planet Ceres. That planet it's just like Earth. The asteroid belt ahead was raining. To demolish, it was awaiting. Of rocks and boulders was it together, hammered like orphans with no mother, they banded together. It's not a dwarf planet. It's not big, but it's not a dwarf planet. It's small. But it's not considered a dwarf planet. Do your research on it. They done discovered lights. They done seen the lights on it. Just like how our planet look like at night when it's lit up. They done seen the lights on Ceres. They know what's going on out there. Sir surging back and forth, a bygone destiny they followed. Their doings were loathsome. Troubling were their ways. Let me explain something to y'all. The way the Anunnaki wrote this stuff is very poetic. So they give life to objects, okay? So when they talking about the asteroid belt, they speak about the asteroid belt like it's a living entity, right? They say it's kind of like how this is their writing style. The asteroid belt ahead was raining. To demolish, it was awaiting. Like it's some kind of human that's waiting to do damage, right? Of rocks and boulders was it together hammered. Like orphans with no mother, they banded together. Surging back and forth, a bygone destiny they followed. Their doings were loathsome. Troubling were their ways. Nibiru's probing chariot, like praying lions, they devoured. The precious gold needed for surviving, they refused to dislodge. The chariot of Alalu toward the asteroid belt, headlong moving, the ferocious boulders in close combat to boldly face. Alalu in his chariot stirred up the firestones. That which shows the way with steady hands he directed. The ominous boulders against the chariot charged forward, like an enemy in battle attacking. Toward them, Alalu, a death-dealing missile from the chariot let loose. Then another and another against the enemy, the terror weapons he thrust. So Alalu decided to blast his way through the asteroid belt. Alalu decided to blast his way through the asteroid belt. Now this is gonna cause an issue, right? Because what happens is when you blast your way through the asteroid belt, you disrupt the orbit of these large, monstrous stones. Do y'all understand that? Remember I told y'all that all of this stuff is on an orbit. All of these stones had developed an orbit, right? All of these planetary bodies, all these celestial bodies, they all follow some sort of orbit. That's the magnetism. That's the magnetism, right? When you knock them off their course, now you're creating chaos, okay? So as a result of him knocking these boulders, these stones out of place, it's going to wreak havoc on the planet in a future date, okay? The stones that he knocked loose on his travels to the earth is going to cause trouble on the earth, Mars, and the moon at a later date. So write that down. Take the note that Alalu stirred up the asteroid stones on his way to Earth. This causes issue at a later date. We're going to come back to that, okay? You're going to see the issue that caused from him blasting through the asteroid belt, all right? As frightened warriors, the boulders turned back. A path for Alalu granting. Somebody show this young lady the door, man. This young lady keep popping up with these questions and she don't know what's going on up here. Sweetie, this a class. You disrupting the class, okay? So this ain't answer your questions. That's very entitled of you to think that this kind of live is for you to come in and like, come on, man. I be telling folk, bro, this every live don't work. Respect the room. Like a spell, the asteroid belt, a doorway to the king open. Okay, here we go. Wham, it's wide open. In the dark deepness of Alalu, the heavens could clearly see. In the dark deepness of Alalu, the heavens could clearly see. But by the belt's ferocity, he was not defeated. His mission was not ended. In the distance, the sun's fiery ball, its brilliance was sending forth. Okay? So right when he broke through the asteroid belt, he is met by he was met by, boom. In the distance, the sun's fiery ball, its brilliance was sending forth. Welcoming rays toward Alalu, it was emitting. Okay? I know it's a lot of people, guys. I'm finna drop some off to y'all right quick. It's a lot of people out there that's telling y'all that the sun is local, that the sun is close. Guys, you are seeing beamed energy from the sun. You are not seeing the sun. That is not that thing you see in the sky. That is beamed energy from the sun. The sun is beaming that energy into this planet, okay? But y'all think y'all seeing the physical sun. You just seeing the light, just like a flashlight. Let me ask you something. If you stand 100 feet back and you aim a flashlight at a surface, at any kind of physical surface, ain't a round light gonna show up on the physical surface? When you shine the flashlight being the sun. But what happens? What do you see? Do you see the flashlight or do you see the light that's shining on the surface? The planet is the physical surface. The sun is the flashlight. The sun is way back. The sun is a big fucking huge flashlight and is way back. You are seeing the sun's light. That's what that is. That is not the sun that you're seeing. You're seeing the beamed light that's beaming into the planet. And once it hits the Earth's atmosphere, it shows just like any light would. Okay? So y'all got to be careful with these folks talking about. If the fucking sun was right above us, we'd burn up. Do you understand that? Let me make that clear for all the goofies out there with that dumb shit they be talking. If the fucking sun was above us, nigga, we'd be dead. The sun is no joke. The only reason we have the planet that we have is because we in what they call the Goldilocks zone. We somehow, some way, in the most perfect position to get just enough sunlight. And when we move further out, we can still get just enough sunlight to keep the planet warm. Now ask yourself something right quick. How many of y'all live in Texas or have been to Texas? Y'all know how hot it gets in Texas? It gets fucking hot. You know how hot it get in Arizona? Okay. So you feeling that shit. That motherfucking thing is millions of miles away. And you feeling that heat. You don't feel the heat from a lighter. If somebody's staying 20 feet away from you and light a lighter, you don't feel the heat from that. If somebody light a fire 100 feet away, you don't feel the heat from that. That tells you how powerful that fucking sun is. That motherfucker's so hot that you feeling, the heat you feeling is so hot, but it's just barely enough for you to survive. Because anymore, if the sun give us 5 more degrees, we cooked. If the sun give us 5 more degrees, we cooked. So please don't let nobody tell you this dumb shit. It's talking about space ain't real. Ain't no space out there. We enclosed in this ice. The firmament is over the universe, over a portion of the universe. Not just on Earth. The firmament is a portion of the universe. Like I say, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Before it, a red-brown planet on its circuit was coursing. All right, here we go. Before it, a red-brown planet. There it goes, Mars. There go Mars. The 6th in the count of planets it was. Alalu could but glimpse it. On its destined course from Alalu's path, it was quickly moving. So Mars was the next planet. Then snow-hued Earth appeared. The 7th in the celestial count. All right. So now we are Here. The snow-hued earth. Toward the planet, Alalu set his course to a destination most inviting. Smaller than the Biru, it was alluring. Weaker than the Biru was its attracting net. Alalu gazes at Earth's beauty for the first time. Its atmosphere thinner than the Biru was. Clouds were within it swirling. Below the Earth, to 3 regions was divided. Snow white at the top. Snow white at the top and on the bottom. Blue and brown in between. That's the snow, the water, and the land. Deftly, Alalu spreads the chariot's arresting wings around the earth to circle. In the middle region, dry lands and watery oceans he could discern. The beam that penetrates downward he directed. Earth's innards to detect. Okay, so listen up. I want y'all to listen to what he just said. That's a piece of technology that he's using. Okay, you remember the Anunnaki is already technologically equipped. That we ain't even where they at right now, right? We 400 some thousand years back. They're more technologically advanced 450,000 years ago than we are right now. Right? Just check this out. He says the beam that penetrates downward he Earth's innards to detect. So they got a laser beam that they can use to check out the soil composition of Earth, to check out what's in the Earth. Okay? Now we got that kind of stuff today. This is how they find oil and some other natural resources that they go looking for. They use radio frequency, basically HAARP. This is how they discovered HAARP, by using these radio frequencies to detect oil. Okay? So we got some of that kind of technology now, but they had this 450,000 years ago. Okay? The beam that penetrates downward he directed. Earth's innards to detect. I have attained it, ecstatically he shouted. Gold, much gold, the beam has indicated. It was beneath the dark-hued region. In the waters it was too. So he'd have found the gold on the earth. He'd have detected gold, okay? With pounding heart, Alalu, a decision was contemplating. Shall he on the dry land his chariot bring down, perchance to crash and die? Shall he to the waters his course direct, to perchance into oblivion sink? My boy was scared. Which way shall he survive? Will he the treasure gold discover? In the eagle seat, Alalu was not staring. To fate hands the chariot he entrusted. Fully caught in Earth's attracting net, the chariot was moving faster. Its spreaded wings became aglow. Earth's atmosphere was like an oven. Then the chariot shook, emitting a mortifying thunder. With abruptness, the chariot crashed, with suddenness altogether stopping. Senseless from the shaking, stunned by the crash, Alalu was without moving. So he had a crash landing. Then he opened his eyes and he knew he was among the living. At the planet of gold, he victoriously arrived. The escape of Alalu from the Biru was its beginning. With great understanding was Alalu endowed. With much knowledge he acquired. By his forefather Anshargal of the heavens and the circuit, much knowledge was amassed. By Inshar was knowledge greatly augmented. Of that, Alalu made much learning. With the sages he discoursed, savants and commanders he consulted. So basically, they saying that Alalu was a wise mind. He was a great student. He studied the cosmos, so he had some knowledge of Earth. Okay. Thus was knowledge of the beginning ascertained. Okay, so that's what he's saying. He had some knowledge of this planet from the beginning. The gold in the asteroid belt was the confirmation. The gold in the asteroid belt of gold in Tiamat's upper half was the indication. Come on now, let's rewind that. I got to run that back to you now. I tried to tell y'all that we live on half a planet. It's not the full planet it used to be. We live on the top half of it. Okay? It's not a full round ball. When y'all looking at these, first of all, these ain't the real planetary bodies that y'all be looking at all the time. But when you do see them, when you see the round shape, that's the magnetic field that's around the planet. That's the aura of the planet that you see. Okay? The planet is not a round planet, brother. You just seeing the aura, the magnetic field of the planet. So when y'all be like, oh, all the other planets look round, man, you're seeing the magnetic field of that planet, brother. Okay? So let me run that back one more time so you understand what's going on. The gold in the asteroid belt was the confirmation. Exactly, my sister. That's why Alalu called it a net. Exactly. The net ensnares you, okay? The atmosphere, it ensnares you. The gold in the asteroid belt was the confirmation. So he knew that the asteroid belt was formerly of Tiamat. So if it was gold in the former parts of Tiamat, then there must be gold in the rest of Tiamat. Okay? The gold in the asteroid belt was the confirmation. The gold in the asteroid belt of gold in Tiamat's upper half. Tiamat's upper half. Y'all hear that? So check this out. Every time I see a picture, let me tell you something. I done seen what they consider some real pictures of the earth, right? Now, they claim every picture is CGI. But there's a few out there that exists that's the real picture of the earth. I swear to God, every time I see these pictures that's supposed to be the real pictures of the earth, they always show the earth looking like a half a globe. Swear to God. Hold on. Let me show you something. Every time I see these pictures of earth, right here, supposed to be from the moon. This was supposed to be from the moon, right? Okay? But let me move on. Hold on. I got some other. This is closest to something what you live on right here. This is closer to what you live on right here. That's why you can go to the inner earth, because the bottom part's still there. We on top of the earth right now, guys. It ain't nothing above us. So, like, if we was living on a rounded surface, at what point do it rounds? At what point do it curves? What part of the nation experiences the curvature? We still waiting on these people to tell us where's the curvature so we can detect it, so we can say, okay, here's where the earth curves at. So this is more of a closer representation of what, this is not a real picture, this is an illustration. But this is a closer representation of what you live upon. There's your ice wall, and there's the land masses in the middle of the water. Now y'all know when you pour water in a cup, water always finds its level. Right? Water always finds its level when you pour water in a cup. The water on earth, all of the earth's oceans are level. Why? That only happens when water is contained. The only time that happens when it is contained by something. So what's holding the water in? These folks got y'all thinking that y'all on a fucking ball and that somebody live on the bottom of the ball. Man, they got y'all fucked up in the mind, bro. I swear to God. Another one. Look at that. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? There you go. This is a real picture of the earth. This ain't no CGI composite. Look at it. Why is it always had? Every time I see it, man. Every time I see it, man, it's more. There's more. Is that not a half of a planet? Is that not half of a planet? Let me see if I can find it. I think I turned it around. Look at that. Every time is always like a half a globe. All right? All right. Give me just a second. We're finna start back up in just a second. Hold on. Let me remove these people that's hiding in here that ain't showing no love to the family. If you ain't showing no love to the family, you got to go. You got to go. I ain't talking about my people. My people, y'all good. Y'all good. We talking about these people that's not class members. If you're not a class member, you ain't showing no love, I got to get rid of you. So if you get yourself blocked, it's a good time for you to remove yourself from the live. It's a good time for you to remove yourself from the live. If you know you ain't no course member, if you know you ain't paid to be in this course, it's a good time to remove yourself from the live because we blocking. We blocking. Show some love to the live if you want to hang around. Okay, appreciate you, sisters young. Appreciate you, sisters younger. Appreciate you. Much love. We're going to let Sister Younger hang around. That's all it is, man. This shit is half a penny. Like, you know how disrespectful it is to be up in somebody's space where they done created an exclusive space. All these people that's in here paid for this information. They value it. And then you sneak in this motherfucker, enjoy yourself, enjoy the information, and you can't even give up half a penny? This is fucking half a penny that we talking about. That's ridiculous. Okay? Definitely not no people that I would want in my community. Oh man, Lord have mercy. I can't stand them seeing Breezy make me itch. Make me itch. Tell you guys, we can't get nowhere as a community with people that's like that. You're always willing to give the white man all your money for his entertainment. Anytime the white man want to entertain, you give him all your money. He say play for Netflix, you pay for Netflix. You pay for the Netflix ain't got shit on it worth a fuck right now. I guarantee you this information better than what you got on Netflix right now. So yeah, show the love, man. Show the love if you want to hang out with us. We got a very exclusive space. We a family. We meet up every day around this time. We have fun. Okay? Join our space. That way you don't have to be on TikTok like an orphan, jumping from live to live, jumping from content to content. You can have somewhere to hang out with other melanated folks getting this melanated truth. Join the family. Join the course. Okay? Do it the right way, man. Message me. If you want to join the course, message me and say, hey, Chief, give me some information on joining the course and we're going to bring you in. Okay? And you're going to have a good time because we sure do. All right? So, hey, look, let me do one thing before I start back up. Let me step away for 1 second, and when we come back, we're going to get this ball rolling, all right? We ain't on the B-Root no more, gang. All right? We on Earth now. Here we go. All right? What you going to notice, Alalu done landed. Ain't nobody run up to his ship. Ain't nobody run up and throw a spear at him. You know why? Because when he landed, it was no people. Hey, check this out. It was no people. It was no people on the planet at that time. Okay? Here we go. Y'all ready? Let's get everything started back up. Everybody good? Everybody went get them a little drink or something? Let's get it back started. At the planet of gold, Alalu victoriously arrived. High, chariot with a thunder crashing. With a beam he scanned the place, his whereabouts to discover. Chariot on dry land descended. At the edge of extended marshes it landed. He put on an eagle's helmet. He put on a fish's suit. All right, he put on an eagle's helmet and a fish's suit. That is like an astronaut's helmet. And a fish's suit is a what? What y'all think a fish suit was? So we know I'm gonna give you that. What you think a fish suit was equivalent to in our society? Remember, he landed in the water. He landed in the water. He put on an eagle's helmet and a fish's suit. Yeah, a wetsuit, scuba diving gear. Yeah, come on with it. Come on with it, D-Lynn. Scuba gear, all right? He landed in the water. The chariot's hatch he opened. At the open hatch, he stopped to wonder. Dark-hued was the ground, blue-white were the skies. No sound there was. There was no one to bid him welcome. No sound there was. There was no one to bid him welcome. So for all the people that's, oh man, the Anunnaki ain't this, man, we was this and we was that. Wasn't nobody here when these folks landed here, man. Them folks would have wrote that down. They would have told you about it. Wasn't nobody here. Alone on an alien planet he stood, perchance from the Nibiru forever exiled. Imagine that. Imagine landing on an alien planet for the first time. Looking around. You far away from your home. Alalu's first steps on earth was to the ground. To the ground himself he lowered. On the dark-hued soil he stepped. Yeah, all alone. Knowing me, I'm going to turn up. I like my solitude. There were hills in the distance. Nearby, much vegetation there was. Ahead of him, there were marshes. Into the marsh he stepped. By the water's coolness he shuddered. Back to the dry ground he stepped. Alone on an alien planet he stood. With thoughts he was possessed. Of spouse and offspring with longing he remembered. That's a human moment. It's very important that you know that the Anunnaki were humans. Yes, they got reptilian genetics. Yes, they are partly reptilian, partly human. Okay, just like we are. Newsflash, we are too. Newsflash, we are partly reptilian too. Yeah, it's a part of our genome. Okay, but these are humans. A lot of people in the made y'all think that the Anunnaki was some fucking mythical, magical monsters. These were human beings. So let me read that to you again, and I'm gonna ask you: does this sound like a human moment or a mythical, magical monster? Listen to this. With thoughts he was possessed, of spouse and offspring with longing he remembered. The man is thinking about his old lady and his kids. He's alone on an alien planet and he's thinking about his old lady, his spouse, and his offspring. Do you think some mythical, magical monsters, do you think the fucking Seakar Empire, like the real alpha draconian reptilians, they don't have these kind of moments? They don't have wives. They don't have, so these were humanoid. They have reptilian genetics, but they were humanoid. They just like us in a way, okay? So this man was missing his wife and his kids on this planet, all right? Was he forever from Nibiru exiled, or what again? Again, he wondered. So he trying to figure out what's his situation on Nibiru. Remember, guys, nobody even knows that he gone. Nobody don't even know he gone. And he worried about if they gonna kill him, if they gonna throw him in prison, right? Again and again he wondered. To the chariot he soon returned, with food and drink to be sustained. Then deep sleep overcame him, a powerful slumber. How long he slept he could not remember. What awakened him he could not tell. A brightness there was outside, a brilliance on Nibiru unseen. A pole from the chariot he extended with a tester. It was equipped. So, their sun on their planet only comes around every their sun is not visible on their planet like ours is. Okay? So, we see the sun all the time. We see the sun's light all the time. They don't see it all the time on Nibiru. It takes their planet 3,600 years to orbit its sun. So they rarely see it, okay? A pole from the chariot was extended. With a tester, it was equipped. It breathed the planet's air. Compatibility, it indicated. So he used the tester from the ship to see if the air was good for breathing. The chariot's hatch he opened. At the open hatch, he took a breath. Another breath he took, then another and another. The air of earth indeed was compatible. Alalu clapped his hands. A song of joy he was singing. Without an eagle's helmet, without a fish's suit, to the ground he lowered himself. The brightness outside was blinding. The rays of the sun were overpowering. Boy, I ain't used to that sunlight like that. Into the chariot he returned. A mask for the eyes he donned. Let's listen to how they wrote that. Right? If we was writing that today, we would say he put on some shades. But this terminology, yeah, that's oxygen on the Nibiru. They breathe oxygen. So this terminology was not in the lexicon of these people. Sunglasses, sunshades. Into the chariot he returned, a mask for the eyes he donned. He picked up the carried weapon. He picked up a handy sampler. To the ground himself he lowered. On the dark-hued soil he stepped. He made his way toward the marshes. Dark greenish were the waters. By the marsh's edge there were pebbles. Alalu picked a pebble. Into the marsh he thrust it. In the marsh, a moving, his eyes glimpsed. The waters were filled with fishes. Into the marsh, the sampler he lowered. The murky waters to consider. For drinking, the water was not fit. Alalu greatly disappointed. So he tested the marsh water, and it was not good for drinking. Y'all, the reason why the marsh water was not good for drinking, because he landed by the sea. So let me let y'all know something real quick. Let me let y'all know where Alalu landed at. Hopefully. All right, check it out. Family, 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 family. Didn't I tell y'all that this information is the origins of all of our biblical information? Olalu landed here near the Persian Gulf. Okay? What y'all about to learn over the next couple weeks is where the actual Garden of Eden is located. You about to learn in the next couple weeks where the actual Garden of Eden was located. The reason you cannot find the Garden of Eden today is because it was buried by the Great Flood. The Great Flood is what buried the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden was located at the mouth of the Persian Gulf. It was a tropical oasis. Can you imagine? Right? That's a beach. That's a beachfront property. Right? So, of course, you're going to find this tropical, lush garden or this orchard near somewhere like this, okay? So this is where Olalu landed, in the Persian Gulf, and he was closer to the marshland. So, you know, when you get closer to the bank, you're dealing with marshes and things of that nature, okay? So when he tested the marsh water, the reason why it was unfit is because it was taking on seawater. And you know you can't drink the seawater because of the salt, right? But y'all gonna see this in a few weeks. And we're gonna pull this back up because as you can see, this is the Euphrates and the Tigris. Y'all see that? The Garden of Eden was where the Euphrates and the Tigris connected. The Euphrates and Tigris connected to run into the Persian Gulf. This is where the Garden of Eden was located, okay? But we're gonna see it. I'm gonna prove it to y'all in a couple weeks. I'll show it to you. But this is why this marsh water was no good. Because I wanted y'all to know this is where he's at. This is where he landed at. So I told y'all this is the area that they landed. They first started to mine the gold. The most gold that they found was in South Africa. Okay? So when they started to go into the Abzu and search the Abzu, they found that the most gold was in South Africa. They found very little gold in this part of the region. Okay? But we're going to get there. Into the marsh, the sampler he lowered the murky waters to consider. For drinking, the water was not fit. Olalu was greatly disappointed. He turned away from the marshes. In the directions of the hills, he went. He made his way through vegetation. Bushes to trees gave way. The place was like an orchard. The trees with fruits were laden. Y'all hear that? Huh? The place was like, let me read that again to you so you get it. This is where he at now. Okay? It says he turned away from the marshes. In direction of the hills he went. He made his way through vegetation. Bushes to trees gave way. The place was like an orchard. The trees with fruits were laden. I mean, the trees was full of fruit. By their sweet smell enticed, Olalu picked the fruit. In his mouth he put it. Sweet was the smell, sweeter the taste was. Olalu was greatly delighted. Away from the sun's rays, Olalu was walking. Toward the hills, he set his direction. Among the trees, a wetness under his feet he sensed, a sign of close-by waters. In the direction of the wetness, he set his course. In the midst of the forest, there was a pond, a pool of solid waters. In the pond, the sampler he lowered. For drinking the water, it was good. Okay? So the further he walked inland, he came across a pond. Now, the pond water is going to be filtered, okay? So this water is still the seawater, but what happens is, as that seawater travels through all that stick and mulch and all of that stuff, it's getting filtered. So by the time it becomes a pond, right, it's much cleaner. It's a cleaner source of water. It's safer to drink. So he found a pond that was good for drinking water. Alalu laughed, and unstopping laughter seized him. The air was good. The water for drinking was fit. There was fruit and there was fishes. With eagerness, Alalu bent down. Don't ever forget that God had already equipped this planet with all that we needed. Right? This planet already had everything we needed. Man out here charging us to drink water. Man charging us for fish that swim freely. Everything that we needed was already provided upon this planet. We don't need them. We just need to return to naturalness. Okay? Thank you, Sin. I'm gonna switch it out. I'm gonna see if I can switch it out. A coolness did the water have. A taste from the Biru's water was different. So our water tastes different from their water. Once more he drank. Then with fright, he jumped. A hissing sound he could hear. A slithering body by the poolside was moving. He carried his weapon he seized, a blast of its ray toward the hissing he directed. First of all, two things I want y'all to take from this. First of all, the nigga had a laser gun. Let's all digest that right quick. That nigga say a blasting from his ray, he admitted. So my nigga got a laser gun, right? We 450,000 years back, and the nigga is strapped with a laser. But did y'all hear what he shot? Did y'all hear what he shot? Listen to what he shot. Let me explain it. He carried his weapon, a blast of a ray toward the hissing he directed. The moving stopped. The hissing was ended. My boy had never seen a snake before. Right? He'd never seen a snake before. To examine the danger, Alalu stepped forward. The slithered body lay still. Dead was the creature, a sight most strange. Like a rope, its long body was. Without hands or feet was the body. Fierce eyes was in its small head. Out of its mouth, a long tongue was sticking. So they described that clearly, right? He had never seen a snake before. A sight on the Biru never beheld. It was a creature of another world. Listen to this. Was it the orchard's guardian? Alalu by himself pondered. Was it the water's master himself, he asked? So look, Cat say that's the snake in the garden. Yeah, this is where they get that from. Right? But I tell you, by the time they get to the Bible, they've diluted and misconstrued the story so much. By the time they get to the Bible, it's something else. So by the time you get it, by the time y'all get this understanding, they done turned it into this whole thing of the snake and the apple and this. The apple was the first piece of fruit that he bit. When they say he got that enticing fruit, that was an apple. The snake was the first animal that he laid eyes on that he didn't know about. He knew about fish. He ain't never knew about no damn snake. Everything they gave you in the Bible was diluted. That's the real true story. In his carried flask, he collected some water. With alertness to the chariot, he made his way. The sweet fruits he also picked. To the chariot, he set his course. The brightness of the sun rays was greatly diminished. Darkness, it was at the chariot he reached. The shortness of the day, Alalu pondered. Its shortness amazed him. Okay? So he was very intrigued with how short the day was on earth. Y'all got to remember, I told y'all, if 1 year on earth, 1 year on the Nibiru is 3,600 earth years. 1 year. So, one day, right? Shit, 1 day feel like a year. 1 day on the Nibiru, right? 1 day would feel like a year on earth. So, our day is quick. 24 hours. This right here is baffling him. Man's on a different planet. From the direction of the marshes, a cool lightness on the horizon was rising. A white-hued ball in the heavens was quickly rising. Okay? So now he sees a white-hued ball quickly rising at night. For the first time, he is witnessing Earth's moon. He called it Kingu. Kingu, the Earth's moon, is he now beheld. What in the account of the beginning, his eyes, the truth, could now see. The planets in their circuits, asteroid belt, Ki, the Earth, Kingu, its moon, all created where all by names were called. They gave these planets the names. They gave these planets the name. In his heart, Alalu knew one more truth a beholding needed. The gold, the means of salvation to be found, was needed. If truth be in the beginning tells, if by the waters the golden veins of Tiamat were washed, in the waters of earth, it's cut off half. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Hold on. Let me run that right back for whoever ain't hear it in the back. Okay, these people is talking to you from their folklore. Tiamat is a part of their folklore. They were taught as kids about Tiamat because their Queen Tiamat, this was her planet that was gifted to her. So they know everything about the history of Tiamat. He says, if truth be in the beginning tells, if the folklore is true, then the waters of the golden veins of Tiamat were washed. In the waters of earth, it's cut off half. So they saying that, because y'all need to know something. The waters we got on earth used to be the waters that was in the inner earth. It's still water in the inner earth, but these were part of the waters of the inner earth. So when Tiamat was crashed into and lost half his planet, the convertible top came off, right? And what he's saying is the golden veins, the gold from Tiamat washed down into the waters. So he should be able to find some gold in the waters of its cut off half. He say in the waters of earth, it's cut off half. You don't live on no full globe, brother, sister. You live on a half of a rock. Okay? We don't live on no perfect globe. We live on half of a rock. That's what we lived on. Didn't they used to have a TV show called Third Rock from the Sun? Ain't that what they used to call that show? Y'all remember that show? Third Rock from the Sun? And that's exactly what Earth is, right? Mars, Venus, Earth is the third rock from the sun. You live on half a rock, baby. When I show you that illustration, it's going to make more sense to y'all. I'm going to show you an illustration, and it's going to make way more sense to y'all. I'm telling you guys, just use your common sense, man. Use your common sense. In the waters of earth is cut off half, gold must be found. With hands unsteady, Alalu, the tester from the chariot's pole, dismantled. You know what? Nah, check this out. It's a heat source inside the earth, but it's an inner sun. So what they talk about when they talk about this melting, this ball of rock that's in there, the inner earth got an inner sun. It's a whole nother earth. We're on the outer earth, there's an inner earth. So they got there's a whole planetary system within the earth. And they got a central sun and everything. And that's that heat source. That's the heat source that heats up the magma, that heats up that part. So everything above the inner sun gets the heat from that sun. So above, so below. So above, so below. So that's where the volcano, all the magma from the volcano is heated up. So watch this. Check this out. Imagine if our sun was down here close to our rock. What would it do? It would melt the rock. It would turn the rock to lava. So that inner sun that's inside of the earth, all of that rock, the layers of earth, because y'all got to understand something. First of all, earth is big as a motherfucker. Earth is huge. Okay? It ain't like when you go into the earth, it takes some time for you to get down to Shambhala. We talking about it's going to take a couple years. It might take a couple years to get to Shambhala. Okay? So it's some huge layers. But that inner sun, and please do your research on this. Check me out. Do your research on the inner sun, okay? That inner sun is heating up all of that layer of rock that's above it. And that is what's creating the magma that is flowing into the volcanoes or pushing them up and creating volcanoes. Okay? So yeah, it's definitely more to the science of the inner earth than what they've taught us. I mean, they've taught us nothing about the inner earth. Shout out to Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd made sure we knew that it was an inner earth. And like, if you can't take an admiral's word, if you think an admiral of the naval, a naval admiral is crazy, you out of your mind. You can't become the admiral of a navy. Brother, you can't even become a sergeant in the Navy if you whacked out of your mind. This man was an admiral. So if you can't take his word for it, then you don't need to listen to nobody. You know how much he had to risk? Think about this dude. This is an admiral of the Navy. You know how much he had to risk to come out and say that shit? And he told his story over and over again. Do your research on Admiral Byrd, man. Do your research. With trembling hands, the fish's suit he donned, the fast arriving daylight eagerly awaiting. At daybreak, the chariot he exited. To the marshes he quickly stepped. Into deeper waters he waded. The tester in the waters he inserted. In illuminated face he eagerly watched. In his chest his heart was pounding. The water contents the tester was indicating. By symbols and numbers its finding disclosing. Then Alalu's heartbeat stopped. There is gold in the waters, the tester was telling. Unsteady on his legs, Alalu stepped forward. Deeper into the marshes he made his way. Again, the tester into the waters he inserted. Again, the tester announced gold. A cry of triumph from Alalu's throat emanated. Nibiru's fate in his hands now was. So check this out. So now he done found the gold, right? He done found some gold. We got a long way to go. So in his mind, he done saved the day. So in Alalu's mind, Alalu is thinking, hey, I'm finna call these dudes back, let them know that I done found the gold, and hopefully they're going to allow me to come back and be king. This is how his mind is working, okay? But let's just see how that's going to turn out. All right, let's see how that's going to turn out. Back to the chariot, he made his way. The fish's suit he took off. The commander's seat he occupied. The tablet of destinies that knows all the circuits he enlivened. Okay, the tablets of destiny is like a computer screen. All right? It says the tablets of destinies that knows all the circuits. That's basically like your GPS, like your navigation. Okay? To Nibiru's circuit to find the direction, the speaker of words he stirred up. And y'all gotta love all this little technology they describe. And check this out. Check it out. They're describing a lot of technology here. The tablet of destinies that knows all the circuits he enlivened. To Nibiru's circuit to find the direction. To define the direction of Nibiru's circuit. The speaker of words he stirred up. Toward Nibiru the words to carry. Y'all check that out. Y'all hear that? The speaker of words he stirred up. Toward Nibiru, the word EA, man, on a whole nother level. Listen, check it out, Big Dream and Shout. Big Dream and Shout. Them folks using wireless communication. Them folks using wireless communication. Them folks is able to beam their conversation from one planet to another. We can't even get cell reception in the boondocks, right? You go too far out. You go too far out in the country, you can't even get good reception. These motherfuckers is able to have a conversation from one planet to the other. They beaming their voice. They're beaming their voice through light. Come on with it, man. The speaker of words he stirred up. Toward Nibiru the words to carry. Then to Nibiru words he uttered. Thus he was saying. The words of the great Alalu to Anu on Nibiru are as directed. On another world I am, the gold of salvation I have found. The fate of Nibiru is in my hands. To my conditions you must give heed. Alalu got some nerve. Look at that damn Alalu. Listen, Alalu is trying to work his move. Y'all see that? My boy got his ass kicked. Now, we ain't forgot that you got buck naked beat up, buck naked. Man's balls was all in your face when he stood over you. Okay, we ain't forgot that, Alalu. So you lost that fight fair and square. You took off running, you escaped, you didn't tell nobody you was gone. You go to Earth, you say, I'm gonna find the goal, I'm gonna save the day. Boy, Alalu got some goddamn nerve. Alalu to call them folks back, collect. He to call them folks back, collect. Talking about put Anu on the phone. I'm finna show y'all how the conversation really went. Because, see, they trying to keep it proper. I'm going to show y'all how the conversation really went. So, Alalu got in the damn ship. Called up there. He say, yeah, this Alalu. Okay. Hey, this Alalu, man. Hey, put that nigga Anu on the phone. Yeah, this Alalu, cuz. Put Anu on the phone. Put the nigga on the phone, cuz. This Anu. Yeah, hey, listen, man. Listen. Nigga, I got what you need. You heard me? I got it. I got it. I can, listen. I'm the man now. I'm the captain. You hear me? So then what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to make me a bowl of fruit. I need 20 concubine women waiting on me when I get back. I need somebody to rub my back. And I want to be the king again. You hear me, nigga? Because if I don't get what I want, Nibiru is going to burn. It's going to burn. You hear me, nigga? Huh? Now hit me back when you ready to talk. That's what he did. That's what he did, man. He called back with some nerve, man. He say, I got y'all. I got the gold, nigga. Y'all want to live? Let me come back. Okay? So I told y'all, man, keep your eye on Alalu. Alalu is a wild guy. Keep your eye on him. Let's see how I knew handle this. Let's see how I knew gonna handle this. Huh? Yeah, he said it with his chest. He said it with his chest. These is niggas, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. These Anunnaki is niggas. You gonna see. Okay? You gonna see. These is niggas. Clearly. He says, the fate of Nibiru is in my hands. Listen to it. Okay, I'm going to read the proper way. He say, the fate of Nibiru is in my hands. To my conditions, you must give heed. Do what I say or else. Those were the words of Alalu. From the dark-hued earth to Nibiru, where the speaker beamed. When the words of Alalu to Anu the king were conveyed, Anu was astounded. Anu say, the nerve of this nigga. Y'all see this nigga called out here talking shit? Because he must have left a voicemail. He must have left a voicemail on Anu. Anu heard the voicemail. Anu say, the nerve of this nigga. Did I just whoop this nigga? Did y'all all just see me beat this nigga up, right? Y'all saw me beat his ass, right? Right? So I knew like, hey, look. I tell you what. Now the nigga say he got some gold. Okay? The nigga say he got some gold. Check it out. This what we gonna do. We gonna play it off. We gonna play like everything cool. Let's just see what he got. Maybe he got something. Let's just see what he got. Let's not show our whole card, okay? So this is our new approach. Our new say, I'm going to act like everything cool, okay? So he going to let Alalu pop his shit for right now. When the words of Alalu to Anu the king were conveyed, Anu was astounded. Astounded were the counselors. Amazed was the sages. Alalu is not dead? They asked each other, they thought he was dead. Could he indeed be on another world? They were saying with disbelief. Was he not on Nibiru hiding in the chariot to a place of concealment gone? They thought he was hiding on Nibiru. The commanders of the chariots were summoned. Savants, the beamed words considered. The words from Nibiru did not come. From beyond the asteroid belt were they spoken. This was their finding. This to Anu, the king, they reported. So the counselors and the savants say, hey man, this call came from beyond the asteroid belt. So, he had his people check it out. They say where this message came from. So they come back and say, hey man, it came from beyond the asteroid belt. Somebody out there in the forbidden zone. So he must be out there. Stunned was Anu. The happening he pondered. Let words of acknowledgement be sent to Alalu. To the assembled, he was saying. Like I told you, Anu took the mindset of let's just see what he got before we show our whole card. See, Anu is being a strategist. Okay? Never let your emotions drive you. Never let your emotions lead you. Do y'all understand that? Anu could have easily been like, you bitch ass nigga, I just beat you up, nigga, don't even come back, nigga. Wherever you at, stay where you at, nigga. Fuck you. Anu could have did that easily, because he a real nigga. Okay? But Anu said, let me be smart about it. Because maybe this guy got the gold for real, and we need this gold to save the planet. So let me be smart about it. Let's just see what he got. So Anu gonna finesse him. Anu gonna finesse him, gonna make him think everything cool. He gonna play him real sweet. Okay? Let me do this gold. Let me try to hit this gold thing one more time. We're gonna put some thunderbolts up here, baby, because we finna drop the thunder on their head now. We finna drop the thunder on their head now. Let's get it. Boom. Shout out to the family. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. At the place of the celestial chariots, the command was given. To Alalu, these words were spoken. Anu the king to you his greeting send. Of your well-being he is pleased to learn. For your departing from Nibiru, there was no reason. Enmity is not jealousy is not in Anu's heart. If goal for salvation you have indeed discovered, let Nibiru be saved. The words of Anu, Alalu's chariot did reach. Alalu answered them quickly. If your savior, listen to Alalu, here come Alalu, right? Anu trying to play it off. Anu say, hey man, I ain't even know you was gone, brother. I'm just glad to know you safe. Alalu, I missed you, man. Anu slick with it. Anu say, Lalu, this you? Where you been? Bro, we been looking for you, bro. Bro, we were worried about you. It ain't like that, dog. No, bro, you good, bro. We just had we squad, bro. It's over with. It was one-on-one. I won, but you still family. Don't even worry about it. I love you, dog. Where you at? You say you got some gold? Oh, that's good. That's good, bro. For real. You need some help? So I knew it's playing him like that. Alalu come back. Alalu say, if your savior I am to be, your lives to save, convene the princes to assembly, my ancestry declare supreme. So Alalu say, no, man, I want to be the king again. Get everybody around and have them make me king again. Let the commanders make me their leader. Bow to my command. Come on with it, family. Salute. Alalu told Anu, no, nigga, you got to bow to me. You think I'm stupid? Alalu say, you think I'm stupid? I got the gold to save y'all life. You owe me, okay? Let the council pronounce me king. On the throne, Anu to replace. When the words of Alalu on the Nibiru were heard, great was the consternation. Alalu got some nerve. How could Anu be deposed? The counselors asked each other. What if Alalu was telling the truth? Where is his asylum? Did he indeed find gold? These are the questions that they are pondering. They summoned the sages. Of wise and learned counseling they asked. The oldest of them spoke. I was Alalu's master, he was saying. He had hearkened to the teachings of the beginning of the celestial battle he was learning. Did y'all just hear that? Remember when I told y'all about the cosmic war? The Galactic Federation war? Right? Listen to what he's saying. This is all before Nibiru, right? This is all before the Nibiru civilization was created. This is all folklore in their world. So they are taught about the great celestial battle. They're taught about the cosmic battle. Listen to what his OG just said, the dude that taught him. He says, I was Alalu's master. He had hearkened to the teachings of the beginning of the celestial battle he was learning. Okay? So that tell you that that cosmic battle was true. This is their folklore. We just not getting this shit. We just not getting all this information. See, that's what I love about this class that I've developed. right? We was able not only to get Earth's hidden history, but now we've been able to get the hidden cosmic history. Okay, Lyrans versus the reptilians. Come on now. Come on now. So Alalu knew all about Tiamat. He knew about Earth. He knew all about it. On the watery monster Tiamat and her golden veins he had the knowledge of. If indeed beyond the asteroid belt he had journeyed, on Earth the seventh planet is his asylum. They say, yeah, he knew all about it. He knew where it was located. So yeah, he more than likely he's there. In the assembly, a prince spoke up. A son of Anu he was. Of the womb of Antu and Anu's spouse was the issue. Enlil was his name, Lord of the Command, it meant. Write that name down, guys. Very important character. Chief character. That might be one of the lead characters. Off top. Write that name down. Enlil. You need to know that name. Very important character. Very important character. Enlil. Okay? Alalu, Anu, Enki, Enlil. These are very important characters. That's one of your gods from the Bible. You're going to learn. That's one of the gods from your Bible. That's the Hebrew God. That's the God of the Hebrews. Amun-Ra is the God of the Christians. Nanar is the God Allah. Is the God of Islam. Nanar. Sin. His name is Sin. Nanar. You gonna learn, guys, about the gods of religion. That's what y'all finna get. We finna show y'all where religion come from. Religion don't exist at this point. You about to learn about the gods of religion and where they come from. All the major religions, y'all about to learn the origins of them in the weeks to come. Write that name down, put a star by it. Enlil, very important character. Enlil was the son of Anu. Enlil was the son of Anu. He wasn't even the firstborn son. He was the second son. So that's important to know that Enlil was the second son. Enki was his firstborn son. Enki was his firstborn son, okay? Words of caution, Enlil was saying, of conditions Alalu cannot speak. Calamities were his handiwork. By single combat and wrestling, he the throne forfeited. So Enlil is just stepping up saying, hey man, Alalu ain't got no right to be demanding shit. My dad kicked his ass. That's basically what he's saying. Enlil is stepping up. He's saying Alalu has no right to demand anything. By combat, he had his ass kicked by my father. Okay? The words of the assembly to Alalu were conveyed. A response demanded. Alalu, the words merit pondered. To transmit his secrets, he agreed. Of his journey and its perils and its truth, an account he gave. Of the tester, its crystal innards he removed. From the sampler, its crystal heart he took out. Into the speaker, the crystal he inserted. All the findings to transmit. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for a little insight on something? Do y'all remember the old Superman movies when he went to the Crystal Cave? Y'all remember the old Superman movies when he went to the Crystal Cave? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember from the old Superman movies when he go to the Crystal Cave. Didn't he used to take a crystal and used to stick it in that device, stick it in that platform, and he could communicate back to his planet? Ain't that how that worked? So let me read that to y'all one more time and tell me if this sounds like the same piece of technology. Listen. Alalu, the words merit pondered. To transmit his secrets, he agreed. Listen to how he transmitted his secrets. Listen. Of the tester, its crystal innards he removed. From the sampler, its crystal heart he took out. Into the speaker, he inserted the crystal. All the findings to transmit. Don't that sound just like Superman, the way Superman used to communicate back on his planet? They all drawing from these Anunnaki guys. These movies and shit, all these movies that we like, they be drawing from this Anunnaki story. Okay? So he basically just emailed them across planet. That was a planetary email he just sent. The words of the assembly to Alalu were conveyed. A response demanded. Of his journey and its perils and truth, he gave an account. Screen moving slow. Now that proof has been delivered, declare me king. Bow to my command, he sternly demanded. My boy still popping this shit. The sages were aghast. With weapons of terror, Alalu on the Biru caused havoc. With weapons of terror, a path through the asteroid belt he blasted. Once in its circuit, Nibiru, that region passes calamities Alalu is amassing. So they talking about when he blasted through the asteroid belt, they talking about the problems that's going to cause down the line, okay? Remember I told y'all, that ain't over with. When you blast through the asteroid belt, you just knocked mountain-sized asteroids off of its orbit. They going to land somewhere. They are going to hit a planet, okay? So that's going to happen. In the council, there was much consternation. The kingship to alter was an indeed grave matter. Anu, by ancestry alone, was king. By fair wrestling, the throne he attained. In the assembly of princes, a son of Anu stood up to speak. Okay, this is his other son, his second son. He was wise in all matters. Among the sages, renowned he was. Okay, wait a minute. Y'all just heard from Enlil. Okay? Anu got two sons. Enlil and Enki. This is Enki that's about to speak. Okay? So write that name down. Most important character. Chief character. Enki. Okay? This is the story of Enki and Enlil. This is the lost book of Enki. Okay? Enki is the older brother to Enlil. He was the firstborn. But guess what, guys? Enki mama wasn't royal. Enki mama was a house servant. She was a concubine member. So Enki didn't get all the love he was supposed to get. And you're going to see that. Okay? But Enki was very wise. Okay? He was the wisest. It says he was wise in all matters. Among the sages, renowned he was. So he was very famous with the most smartest people. You know how they say, like in a rap game, when you good, they call you a rapper's rapper. Means that even if people don't like you, all the best rappers like you. So when you respect it like that, that means you got bars, right? So Enki amongst the most wisest minds is respected as a wise mind. Okay, so he's got the respect of all the sages. Okay, so Enki steps up to speak. Enki says of the secret waters, he was a master. Here we go, guys. And go another reference to waters. Another reference to space as being the waters. Alalu called it a dark sea. Enki says of the secrets of waters, he was a master. EA He's whose home is water, he was called. Of Anu, he was the firstborn. To Damkina, Alalu's daughter, he was espoused. So don't forget that as well. He's married to Alalu's daughter. Remember when Alalu offered Anu, he said, hey, let me keep the throne for now, and you're going to be my king in waiting, plus I'm going to give my daughter to your son to marry. This was Damkina, okay? Damkina was given to Enki to marry, okay? My father by birth is Anu the king, Ea was saying. Alalu is my father by marriage. To bring the two clans into unison was my espousal intention. Let me be the one in this conflict to bring unity, okay? Let me be Anu's emissary to Alalu. Let me be the one to Alalu's discovery to uphold. So Enki is basically saying, listen, man, this is my father-in-law, okay? Like Anu is my dad. I love my dad, but Alalu is also my father-in-law. That's my wife's dad, okay? So, of course, he got some skin on both sides, right? So he gonna try to be peacemaker, right? So he say, hey, let me go and let me represent you, Dad, on this trip. Let me go and check out Alalu and see if he got this gold, okay? So Enki is offering to take this journey to the earth to validate this gold. Let me in a chariot to earth journey, a path through the asteroid belt with water, not fire, I shall fashion. So he's going to use water to blast his way through the asteroid belt, okay? Because he is the masters of water. So in Greek mythology, Enki is also known as Poseidon. And who is Poseidon? The god of the water, the god of the seas. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. You're going to learn, guess what else you're going to learn in this class? The Greek gods and the Egyptian gods were the same people, just different names. Another thing you're going to learn in this course is that the Greek gods were the Egyptian gods, just under different names. The pantheon of Greek gods and the Neteru of Egyptian gods are the same, just under different names. The Egyptian gods are the Anunnaki, okay? They are the Egyptian gods. They are the Babylonian gods. They are the Indus Valley gods. Y'all understand that now? They are the Mesoamerican gods. Y'all getting the picture now? See, let me show y'all something. When folks talk to y'all about the hidden history of humanity, if they ain't able to connect all these civilizations, then they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Because when you piece this puzzle together, guess what you see? That all these civilizations are connected. The Greeks learned from the Africans. So everything you learned in Greek came from Africa. Everything that the Africans got came from the Anunnaki. Okay, that's the way it goes. From the Anunnaki to the Africans, from the Africans to the Greeks, so forth. You understand? It's coming. We just in the beginning, baby. Right now, I'm just planting little seeds. Just planting little seeds in y'all head so you will know. Okay? So Enki, master of waters. Okay, this is where you get the god Poseidon from. All right? So he's going to go to the earth. On earth from the waters, let me the precious gold obtain to Nibiru to be sent back. Let Alalu be the king on earth. A verdict of the sages awaiting. If Nibiru it will save, let there be a second wrestling. Who shall rule Nibiru? Let it determine. The princes, the counselors, the sages, the commanders heard Enki's words with wonder. Full of wisdom they were. For conflict, a solution they found. So Enki stands up. Enki says, I'll go, Dad. let me go and represent you. Let me go and validate if Alalu has found this gold. I'll go down there and I'll find the gold, and then I'll set up a way to bring it back. Right? Now, guys, this is where you get the biblical ideology of God sending his only begotten son. Right? But the way it goes is, this is where that whole concept comes from. Because what you're going to realize is Anu is represented as God. Nibiru is represented as heaven. This is all the things you're going to learn. Anu is represented as God. That's why on the back of the money it's saying, God we trust. Anu et coeptis. Anu is represented as God. And Nibiru is represented as heaven. Okay? So when you hear that concept of him sending his only begotten son, this is what this is. Oh, y'all ain't seen shit yet. It's coming. It's coming. Trust me. The first 7 days on earth is coming. Y'all finna see the real shit. I think tomorrow we get to the first 7 days. Tomorrow, first 7 days of creation. Oh, it's finna get real biblical. Told y'all where the Bible come from. I showed y'all that these tablets is 3,600 years older than the Bible. I told y'all the origins of the Genesis story comes from these Anunnaki. Buckle your seatbelts, because it's finna get to be a very, very bumpy ride. So that's where we're going to stop today. When we return, we're going to be in chapter 3. We're going to be, I'm telling you, baby, it's coming together. We're going to be in chapter 3 tomorrow. We got Enki going to the earth. We got Alalu on earth popping shit. Alalu say, hey, man, I got this thing on lock. Y'all got to let me back in. Anu playing it off. Anu say, everything cool, Alalu. Everything good, man. You good. You my boy. I got you. Don't even worry about it. Right? Anu gonna call Alalu and say, hey, I'm finna send your son-in-law down there to pick you up, to help you out. Okay? He on the way. All right? Cool. They tricking him. It's all a trick. Anu is using the strategy of hiding his emotion. Right? Pink, come on with it, Pink. Shout out to my sister, man. My sister, we got some gifting goddesses in here now, man. Come on with it. So Anu is using the strategy of hiding his emotion to gain. Never show your whole card, gang. I'm very strategic. I'm the same way. I just had to play cool with somebody for a couple of weeks before I exposed them. We had somebody in the UMF that I had found out was snaking. And I said, you know what? I ain't gonna just blow this thing up. I'm gonna be very strategic about it. And I'm gonna let this person hang themselves. So this is what Anu is doing. Anu is being very strategic. I was logging a couple weeks ago, my brother. That was probably a couple months ago. We got rid of that person a couple months ago. That was a long time ago. Right? So you gotta always, give people enough rope to hang themselves. Okay? So we're gonna see the way they're gonna play Alalu when we get back. And then the mission gonna begin. The mission to Earth. All the people that's coming, to build, to coming to mine gold, y'all finna see it. This is the real story of Earth, guys. I'm telling you right now. Your boy been researching for 18 years. And when I tell y'all I looked at every version of everything that everybody got to say, and this is by far the one that makes the most sense, the one that adds up the most, the one that answers all the questions, you cannot deny it. You cannot deny this story. Like I say, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come. So I hope everybody had a good time up in here today, man. I hope y'all had a good class. Hope y'all learned something today. All right. I hope y'all gonna be ready for tomorrow because the information gonna keep flowing. Big shout out to the gifting gods and the gifting goddesses that represented. Shout out to the folks that hung out with us, that did it the respectful way. Big shout out to everybody that's not a part of the course, but they gifted and showed some love to the live. Guys, if y'all want to come hang out with us, that's fine, but you got to support the live. We're doing this for a cause, okay? We're doing this. I do this teaching to support my nonprofit, which is the United Melanated Family. I got big goals. I got big dreams and aspirations for my community. I want to teach my community. It's so much that they hiding from us. It's so much that y'all don't know, man. We are suffering from lack of knowledge. We are losing severely as a people because we don't have the knowledge of self. We don't have the knowledge of ability, all of the abilities that we got. So I teach in order to fund that movement, okay? So if you want to be a part of our course, okay, you need to join our course the right way. You need to message me or you just need to pay the fee, okay? You need to pay the fee so we can bring you in, so we can give you a PCM tag and you can hang out with us, okay? Do the things the right way and we're going to let you hang out. If not, it ain't going to be cool every day. Because I appreciate the gifts, don't get me wrong, but them gifts ain't nothing but a penny, man, okay? Just because you sent me 12 roses or you sent me 12 thunderbolts, that don't equal to what everybody else had to pay. Everybody else had to pay a fee to get this information, okay? So make sure you sign up for the class and pay the fee, okay? Now, it's not a subscription. It's a one-time fee that you have to pay to be a part of this course, okay? So if you want to join the course, message me. I'll give you the information. All you got to do is message me, Chief, I want to join the course. I'll send you the information. And if you suffice the payment, we'll bring you in. Everybody in here paid, gang. Guys, let me ask y'all something. For all my people that took the course in previous courses, is the course worth the money that I'm charging? Is the course worth the money that I charge? I'm going to let them tell you. And we're going to rock out, all right? I'm going to let them tell you why we rock out. We're going to rock out. $ UniMailFam1212. You can always hit us up and donate. If you ever want to donate to the fam, make sure you leave your TikTok profile name in the memo section, okay? Just all you got to do is make sure I see that. If I see that, I'm going to reach out to you and show you some love for donating to the UMF, okay? Hit us up right here, $ UniMailFam1212, guys. Let's roll. Let me check you out, family. I didn't get a chance to see it. Let me scroll up and see if I see your question. Let me see what we got. Brother Canayo say he had a question. I don't know if I saw it. I scrolled up pretty far just then. Let's see. No, I don't see it, my brother. Can you put it back up there? I scrolled back pretty far. Has been another amazing class, and not just because of me. I'm talking about because of my gifters, because of my moderators. Man, let me tell y'all something. We used to have some big classes. We used to have some amazing classes. I'm talking about like 200,000 likes. At one point in time, 150,000 likes was the normal, okay? We always hit our goals. We always hit our diamond goals. So let me give a big shout out to my new crew, because y'all been showing up and showing out. Gigi, Kathy, Sin, Simply, Jay Sween, they been holding it down. I'm talking about my folks been holding it down, and now we got this new crew, and the new crew be representing, man. Y'all keeping the energy real good. So big shout out to my girl Pink. Big shout out to Pink Sugar. Big shout out to Sunset Lady. Big shout out to Corlisa. Big shout out to ETP. Big shout out to Big Dream and Shouty. I'm talking about y'all, man. It's a powerhouse crew right here, baby. Okay, so I'm gonna make it worth y'all while. Chief gonna bring the information. And Chief gonna bring the funk. Let's go. Love these love this new class, man. They intelligent, and they got the kind of ideology. They gonna want to know how Chief get all these beautiful women on the team, man. All these women gorgeous in the UML. They gonna want Chief doing something right. God seem to be some gorgeous goddesses. Big shout out to the goddesses, man. Love y'all. Love y'all. Shout out to the gods, my brothers. Big shout out to the gods. Gods, I need y'all, man. We got to protect the UMF. We got to protect the community, man. Shout out to the gods, man. Like, we did a community talk on Sunday. Guys, we had like 600 people in the room. Okay. We did a community talk on Sunday. We had 600 people in the room. When we do community talk on the weekends, I be needing my people in the building, man, because them damn trolls be ridiculous. Let me give a big shout out to my brother Jay Sween, man. Appreciate the love, brother. Appreciate the donation. Big shout out to BDS The Bridge. I can't remember exactly who name that is. I know that name sounds familiar. But big shout out to BDS The Bridge, man. Much love, family. Much love. Also, Mr. Canayo. Mr. Consistency. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Canayo, for the donation, man. Big shout out to y'all, family. Every time y'all seed or sow love into this movement or into what I'm doing, just know, man, you got a friend in me, bro. Anytime you heap value upon me, you got a friend in me, okay? So much love, man. I appreciate y'all showing me that I'm valued and showing what I do and valuing what I do, man. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Because like I say, the road ahead is very rough. It's a rough terrain, but somebody got to do it, bro. At what point, let me ask y'all something. At what point do black Americans, do black folks stop saying we need a better situation or we need to progress the community? At what point do we actually do it? And then what that's going to look like? Because see, I'm already trying to do that and I know what it looked like, but I'm trying to figure out from everybody else. If we say we all alone in this society and we need, you know, it's so much being hidden from us. It's so much that they're doing to take advantage of us. At what point do we start working on solutions, right? I noticed that all of these black people got together and raised all of this money for Kamala. When we gonna get together and raise some money to build this community that we sorely need? When we gonna get together and start doing these things? Because at some point it needs to happen. If people don't want me as the leader, then show me give me a better leader. Give me somebody better suited to lead the movement. Give me somebody with the right energy, with the right education. Give me some. When I say education, I'm talking about this hidden history. I'm talking about understanding the totality of the hidden history of humanity. Because I'm waiting. All right? So at the end of the day, it ain't gonna be in secret, homie. That ain't gonna work like that. Give me a way that can work in secret. How you gonna build a movement in secret? Show it to me. In secret, you got to keep your mouth closed. What you gonna go out here and knock on door to door? What you gonna go door to door and hand out pieces of paper and say, "Hey, we building a movement. We doing this in the black community." Man, that ain't gonna work, man. Ain't none of that gonna work. Ain't no building in secret. That's what who been doing. That ain't no building in secret. Ain't no building in secret. I think you confusing the strategy. I think what you're confusing is the actual strategy. The strategy of the movement has to be in secret, not the building of the movement. The building of the movement is happening right before your eyes. Some of us using social media to galvanize and bring people together. So no, the strategy is in secret. The building is up front. You can't build shit in secret. You need people to join you. You got to get out. I'm so sick of these dudes who ain't out here building content. You ain't out here teaching, but you got all of these. Ideas. If you ain't out here leading, I had some dude hit me up last week when I was talking about the UMF. And he was like, "Yo, Chief, I'm interested in the UMF, man. I got a lot of ideas. I got ideas, and I'm trying to do this." And I'm like, "Bro, if you got a lot of ideas and you trying to do this and that, you need to start your own movement. Like, don't. I don't need my shit already set up. We need people who can come in and play a part. We need people who can help us with resources. We don't need nobody helping us with strategy. Don't nobody know the best strategy the way I know. The UMF is my baby. So at the end of the day, I'm going to make the best moves to keep that baby safe, keep that baby healthy, and keep that baby moving forward. So like I say, man, do what I did. Go get your 20, 30,000, go get you about 10 or 20,000 people to follow your message and then start building, because that's what I'm doing. Right now, well, we got 14,000 on one page, 12,000 on another page. We've been shut down 6 times. Go through that shit. Show me, let TikTok shut you down 6 times. Come back and rebuild every time. Do that before you come and tell me about strategy. You got to have people willing to listen to you in order to build a movement. If ain't nobody willing to listen to you, how you going to build anything? You have to show leadership. Nobody's following a secret movement. Them folks going to say, who the fuck is you? What have you done for me to be following you? But when chiefs show up, they're going to say, oh, I remember that brother. Oh, that brother gave me that information. That brother gave me that knowledge. Oh, I remember that brother going toe-to-toe with these racist people out here. See, they gonna know me. And another thing, my job is to just organize the movement. Once I organize the movement and set it in place, it'll be a bunch of people running the movement. It won't be me. We'll have a bunch of people running the movement. It won't be one person. Told y'all, man, there's a lot more to this UMF thing than y'all know. But you have to be a member to get the intricate details. We are not giving intricate details to random individuals. You must be a member if you want intricate details of the UMF. I trust Sin. I trust Gigi. I trust Kathy. I trust Omni. I trust Jay Sween. I trust Leandrio. I trust Sherm. You know, come on, man. I trust these people on everything I love. Even if they burn me, I'm willing to get burnt because these good folks, I trust them. I know they ain't going to burn me because they already showed that they good people. So yeah, right now I'm making sure I got the best people around me. I'm making sure I got the best, most trustworthy people. I don't want no emotional ass people around me. I don't want nobody around me that can cause problems because I didn't wish them happy birthday, right? We had a person that got angry because they wished me happy birthday and I didn't see the shit and she became my enemy because I didn't even see that she would. Come on, what kind of shit is that? You know that's what turned that girl into my enemy, right? She felt like, hey, he ain't even see that I wished him happy birthday. Girl, I don't even be on the internet like that. That's the problem, thinking that I'm on TikTok every day. I come to TikTok to teach. I am not on TikTok all day. Yeah, we had a snake. We had the, I'm not with you, G. Nigga, I'm not. They ain't about to ask. Show this nigga the door. Whoever this Cliff or Tyron, nigga, ain't nobody ask you to be with them. Who are you? Bro, don't nobody even know you in here. Don't nobody know you nowhere. Somehow I'm not with you. I'm okay, bye. Show that nigga the door. Weirdo. Weirdo. These dudes be so mad, bro. Anytime they come talking crazy, I always throw in their face, hey man, who is looking to you for information? If ain't nobody looking to you for information, miss me with how you feel, bro. I'm trying to tell you, Sin, man, you know, first of all, Sin, we figured that out too. She accused Kathy of being in some kind of cahoots with me. She said that Kathy was my wife and we in some kind of cahoots together, right? Because you know why she said that about Kathy? Because I always show Kathy, but I always show Gigi the same love. I show Sin the same love. I show Omni the same love. I show Simply the same love. I show all my goddesses that type of love. Cause I value y'all. I appreciate y'all. Man, I got so much respect for the woman, dog. You know, when we talk about being an Aries true job was to be a protector of the divine feminine. That's Aries' real job. Aries is not the god of war. Aries was a protector of the divine feminine. So I got so much respect for women and I got so much love for women. I'm going to always show that love toward my sisters. I see my sisters as goddesses. But that woman was jealous. That woman had told herself that I was supposed to only show her that love. And when I'm showing Kathy that love, she told, oh man, him and Kathy must be married. Yeah, we got rid of a Sunset lady. She played herself right out the movement. She played herself. Because let me show y'all something. Y'all think the Most High gonna let me build this movement with disingenuous people? You think the Most High gonna let me build this movement and have somebody? We ain't gonna build this movement with some nigga that can bring it down. This is what? And how the hell do you hate on a movement of progression? If you know what was sad about that girl, man? Y'all know I got a ton of messages from this girl calling me, telling me I'm her chief and I'm the best thing that ever happened to her. I'm her greatest teacher. I changed her life. How the fuck I go from all that to being this person you tried to make me out to be just because I didn't acknowledge you in the way you wanted me to? You can't call it, and you married, and you telling another man that he the greatest thing that happened. I'd be mad as a motherfucker if my wife was messaging a nigga, telling a nigga, you the greatest thing that ever happened to me, you the best, you this. Hey man, you can appreciate my teachings without trying to sit on my lap. You can appreciate my teachings without trying to sit on my lap. That girl was calling my phone, trying to do too much. I thought she was a friend to the movement. What's scary is I'm out here trying to do something for my people that ain't being done. The only way to help my community is have my community meet me halfway. So I raise money on this app, and the money that I'm raising, I don't have to do nothing with it. I can spend that shit on Jordans because I'm using my energy to do this. But I'm choosing to use this money to fund the movement because I got plenty of money for Jordans. I got plenty of money for everything I need. What I don't got plenty of money for is to save the black community. I need the black community to help me save the black community. I'm willing to give my voice. I'm willing to give my information. I'm willing to put myself at risk. Do you know what they do to people like me? Do you know what they did to Malachi Z. York? What did they do to brother Rashad Jamal? What they do to the other brother Polite? Do you know what they do to brothers when we out here teaching and trying to educate and uplift our people? That ain't enough for you? I gotta put my fucking life on the line and risk everything for you to donate $10, $5? She felt like, oh, I want to see where the money going. I want to see what? You want to see where the money going? Do you do that with St. Jude's? When you donate money to St. Jude's, do you call them white folks up and say, hey, I sent y'all $25. I want to see where the money going. I want to see where the money going. Nah, they just trust them white folks. Because that's what a slave is. I just trust the white folks. I donate to the white folks. I just trust them. I told this girl over and over, shouted, this ain't what this is. This movement is going to require, you know how many people I'm going to have to pay to help us do this shit? Why the fuck would I be coming out talking about money if we ain't nowhere near the kind of money we need to do the things we need to do? Why? Oh yeah, that's exactly what she wanted, Sunset Lady. We figured all that out. Sis had already told herself that she was going to be the number one. She wanted to be the number one in the UMF. When I talked about people in the UMF that I trust and roles that I wanted them to play, that's when she got jealous. Because I spoke about Gigi having a specific role and she felt the way. I could tell. She didn't say nothing, but she felt the way. She felt like, why they're not going to be me? But it's all good. I tell you one thing. Let me tell y'all something. This is why I run the UMF the way I run it. This is why the UMF, what do I always tell y'all about the UMF? I say the UMF is not a democracy, right? And I always explain to y'all where you've been fooled at about a democracy, because you don't even run your household like a democracy. When you run a democracy, you basically tell everybody that they have a right or a say-so in how things go. You cannot run a successful business if you let all your employees have a say-so in how things go. You cannot run a successful household if you let all your children have a say-so in how things go. Sometimes you just gotta lead. And sometimes motherfuckers just gotta trust you. So all this old shit, always worrying about if you're gonna get burnt. Hey man, you don't need to be worried about if you're gonna get burnt. You're gonna get burnt a couple times in life. That's life. But that don't mean you stop trying. I don't care how many times I done got taken advantage of. I'm going to get up and I'm going to try something again. That's where we losing at. We done been robbed by the church. We done let all these other institutions rob us. Now we don't even want to trust the brothers that can help us. And that's where we fucked up. Because there's some brothers out here that can help us. There's a lot of brothers that's teaching, making noise that can help us. So like I say, guys, I do this as an equal exchange. I do this to help, to try to build this movement. I'm dedicated to the movement for the rest of my life. For one thing, it's fun. I enjoy it. I love teaching. I love the idea of helping my people. Nothing would make me happier than to honor my family by building this movement and leaving this legacy to my children. Nothing would make me more happier than my kids being able to say, hey man, it was my father that created this community where black folks could come together and be comfortable, where melanated people can have a space to learn their truths, where melanated people can work together, where melanated people control their food source, control their water source, and control their power source. That's what the UMF is. Right? The UMF, that's what the UMF. And let me tell y'all one more thing about the UMF. When we build that community, you ain't got to live in it 24 hours. If you want to use it as a vacation spot, you can do that. You're going to be able to have a place you can go to. You're going to have a sanctuary where you can get away to. If you want to go live in the city half the time, but then half the time you want to come out and live in a solitude on the natural land, you can do that. These options go be there. Okay? So like I say, man, we got a lot to look forward as a people. I appreciate y'all having my back. My movement is real. I'm real. Ain't nowhere in the world I come in here and put in this kind of work if I was bullshitting. Okay? So don't ever let nobody sprinkle salt on my name. Judge me by how you came across me. Don't ever judge me about on what somebody say. Judge me based on how I make you feel. All right? So with that being said, guys, I'm going to walk on out of this thing, man. I'm going to walk out of here, but I'm going to walk out of here like this. Y'all have a good night. G, I love you. Sid, I love you. I'm waiting on them folks to ship your gift, G. That shit coming from China or something. I'm waiting on them to ship it. Y'all have a wonderful night. I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. We're going to be right back at it tomorrow.